How are we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's another Sorare video. I've not been streaming this one. I'm actually going to sit down and record one. It's the Christmas season here on Sorare. There's going to be a load of quick deadlines coming up. So let me run you through the lineups that I'm building. Let's get into it. Right then, before we do jump into the lineups, obviously it's the Christmas update on Sorare. Now, I did touch on this in the podcast that we streamed live last night. You can find a link to that up here, one of these areas. I don't know what one it's going to be on. You can find a link to watch that back live. We ran through some of this stuff, like I just said, live last night. But let's go through it as well right here, right now. So it's going to be some Christmas Day special edition cards is what they're going to do. I think they're running from the 22nd, I think. Does it say in here? Yes, they'll go live from Friday, December the 22nd at 11 a.m. Eastern, which would be 4 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. other European times. And then they will end on Monday, same time. So they're doing 300 limiteds, 30 rares, 3 super rares, and a unique. And that unique being the Jalen Brunson card. Obviously, one of the sort of main partnered players that they've got. They got Mikal Bridges, Donovan Mitchell, Banchero, and Brunson. So they chose Jalen Brunson for their Christmas Day unique card. You know, they'll be nice for when the collection launches that you have. And I know everyone's like, when collections, but when the collections do launch, if you have one of these cards, you'll get that special edition, special card bonus that you get on some of the rookie cards. It's always nice to have. So if you're looking at picking someone up to add to your gallery, it's not a bad time to look at it right now for the Christmas stuff. Anyway, Christmas Day games then. So if we're looking through this here, we've got the NBA at Christmas, the special one-day competition occurring during Game Week 18, which is on Christmas Day. It's a day where the magic of Christmas meets the thrill of basketball. Obviously, the only players that are going to be eligible for this are teams out of these 5 games. 120-point cap with an MVP, and you need 2 cards of the current season. I don't think that's too outlandish. If they're going to do special competitions throughout the year and they require to have some new cards, I'm not mad at that. 2 cards is fine. I think when they was looking at 3 and 4, 3s are okay, 4's pushing it, but 2 cards is absolutely fine by my place. Prizes are special edition cards are also up for grabs. First place will receive a Jalen Brunson signed merch pack, while other top finishers will compete for NBA store gift cards. Again, this is what we asked for last year. We wanted stuff that wasn't just card rewards. We wanted stuff that we wanted cash, and we wanted cool things that you don't win throughout any other things. This is the point of Sorare. So that Jalen Brunson signed merch pack will be really cool. I presume this means that there's a common, a limited, a rare, a super rare, and a unique, and then not just one competition and it's sort of you can have a common via unique. I hope that's not the case, but we'll wait and see. And also the core competitions obviously will still run. And then Worldwide Wob, Rob Perez, is doing he's playing Santa, apparently. Starting Friday, head over to his social media for an exclusive giveaway surrounding the top stars on his favourite teams, with Jalen Brunson on the Knicks. And blah, blah, blah. If you haven't signed up to Sorare yet, don't use that link. Use my link. You can find it in the description down below. There's a few other things that are going to be going around and loads of other competitions. So I think it's more of that, just keep your eyes peeled. But we're not building lineups for that particular game week. We're still building them for this week. In any case, let's get on and build my common lineups for the week with the giveaway that I'll, of course, run. Drop me a follow on Sorare as well. Come on. Right then, common pickup. And do you know what? I know I give away the card if I ever win it in common pickup, but I'll do the same thing for the common veterans tournament as well. If I win the NBA store gift card in the common veterans, I'll give it away. And also if I win a card in common pickup, I'll give it away. The limited cards, of course, the ones that I can. So all you have to do to be in for a chance of winning them is to be sub to the channel, like the video, and just drop a comment down below. It can be absolutely anything, and I'll give the card away if I win it. And the team that's going to help me win that is going to be Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, Domantas Sabonis, and we're going to scroll on down here now. Where was I going to go with this? Mike Muscala. The reason I'm picking Muscala this week on the premise of that, one, he has that game against Golden State, and we all know what Golden State have been like this year, but also what they're like when they play against a big guy. And then I'm also going to throw in Bilal Coulibaly because he's actually looked somewhat decent in the bleak sort of scores that you're seeing from Wizards players. Coulibaly is one to stand out. Let's do my veterans team now. Now, like I just said, in the veterans team, if you end up coming 3rd, 2nd, or 1st, you get an NBA gift card. $10, $15, $25. Not bad for a free-to-play common one. For this, we're going to run... Can we run Kawhi? Can we run James Harden? Brook Lopez is going to be a smash play this week. Big man for the Bucks against a Knicks team with no big men. Probably Josh Hart running at the 5 is what is the rumor flying around. We're not sure what we'll see yet. And if it's Josh Hart at the 5, then yeah, jump on Brook Lopez is what I'll say. We'll throw Roko in there as well. That then leaves me with 29. So I could go for Al Horford, but I think I'm going to go Royce O'Neal because he's got that game against Detroit, who are on track to be the worst basketball team ever made within the NBA. So that will be my common veterans. Again, all you have to do is be a sub, like the video, and comment down below. Limited lineups now. Right then, limited champions. So obviously I've got my sort of realm of MVPs here. Joel Embiid is going to be the MVP. I'm just going to cut that short. At the minute, he is the best performing basketball player within the league. The scores just speak for themselves. He has been unbelievably consistent, barring that game against Boston, which is Embiid. He has been unbelievable this year. So I've jinxed this into existence for him to drop a 35-point score. But no, in all seriousness, he's going to be the MVP. Luka's ruled out. I'd probably have gone Luka if he hadn't been ruled out that Houston game. I think he will play against the Spurs, but I don't want to take that gamble. So we'll just run for Joel Embiid right there. I'm also going to throw in Domantas Sabonis, primarily because the Suns have got a little bit of doubt right now with their big man. Sabonis has been on not mental form. He's been a bit streaky, but he has shown this year he's very capable of hitting a big score against a team that isn't particularly great at dealing with a big man, and Sabonis can do that to teams. So I'm going to run him in there. He's also got 2 games, which is the nice thing. You have that little bit of insurance policy. And also, last week, I didn't have the video up because I was traveling, but I mean, Ja Morant, what a comeback. That buzzer beater performance, 52 points there. The second game wasn't as impressive against Indiana. Everyone thought it would be sort of like a slogfest back and forth, and it wasn't. But I'm going to run with Ja Morant against Atalanta because I'd like to see what he does to Trae Young. That leaves me with 19 left with 2 spots remaining. If we scroll on down here, I want to pick Grant Williams up. Even if Luka does play or doesn't play, Grant Williams should then see a little bit of an uprate in usage. And also at 18 of an L10 against the Rockets and the Spurs, I'll take that as a little gamble. And then, I mean, I could go for someone in the 20 mark. I could pick Day'Ron Sharpe like I've done on the common side. I could pick a Dylan Brooks, who's got 2 decent fixtures, but I'm actually going to run with Kevon Looney. Now, the reason for this is they're playing the Wizards and the Blazers. Yes, the Blazers have got dominating, but I'm going to go with a Looney game here. He hasn't shown too much of a mental ceiling. We've got a 41-point performance. We've got a 34-point performance. So there's a chance of a double L10, which is what you ideally would like to see from players of this kind of caliber. If you're going around the 40 mark, you're not really expecting doubles. You're expecting 1.5 times. These sort of lower L10 guys, anyone sort of 25 and under, you're hoping for them to double it. So Grant Williams, another example, capable of a 30-point game. Kevon Looney, not as much, but he has it in his locker. So that's going to be my limited champion lineup. Let's do my contender now. Right then, for limited contender, obviously we're working with 110 points. So we're not going to go for any of the massive big dogs to fill out this lineup. First one I am going to pick, though, is Walker Kessler, playing against Toronto. Toronto's big men haven't been necessarily amazing. There's been rumours of Jakob Poeltl not performing to the best of his abilities. We're also then going to roll with, where is he? Where's my man RJ? RJ Barrett. I know he's playing at that kind of small forward-ish-esque shooting guard position, but I'm going to run him against the Bucks just because they're still not there defensively, is what I'll say. They're still not there. Picking up on that also, I'm going to play Tobias Harris. 24 for him is just about that sweet spot where I'd hope that you can see him hit a 30-40-point score, but I'm hoping that he can knock down some corner threes. He can just kind of get his groove going a little bit more. That's what Philly need. They're looking good right now, but they really need Tobias Harris to kick on another gear. If not, then you're looking at really making a trade. And I still think they'll do it, but it wouldn't harm Tobias Harris to be there or thereabouts, would it? That's all I'm going to say. Next up, we're going to go and find. Now, I'm thinking, I'm playing with the idea. Where is he? What's his old 10? Where is Champagne? I'm going to have to search for him. 12. So there's an alternate 12 is not amazing. Obviously, I've got his rookie card from the Sixers collection that I've got, but it's just Champagne's got streaks in him. He really does. If he can catch heat, then he's there or thereabouts with it, and that's why I don't mind Champagne. And then the last one would be if I go and play a Cam Reddish there, and of course it does that, which I'm not too sure about. I'm really not, if I'm being completely honest. Like, if I scroll on through, I'm not playing Jordan Poole in this, and I kind of love playing Jordan Poole, as I'm sure you're all aware. If I pick Jordan Poole, I then have to pick someone that's of a 4L10, and even for I've got a good limited collection gallery, and even then I don't have that. The other option is you've got Aaron Gordon, of course. Aaron Gordon this week is probable. He's back. Aaron Gordon is a decent option in these two games because he's also got Charlotte. But I think we're going to have to leave Paul on the table. We've got 14 left remaining. Drew Eubanks is the one I know that I've mentioned about the Kings performing better, but he's been getting a bit of an uptick recently. That would then leave me with 17, and we could dive for... We'll go Cam Reddish for the time being. I don't love this team, but it's okay. That's what it is. It's okay. Limited veterans up next. Now, I'm not going to go out personally and always go and buy cards for veteran tournaments, especially if they're on the past 34. They're around that age. I'm not going to go and buy them for this one particular game. Now, obviously, for this tournament, you need 2 cards from the 2023 season. Luckily, I've won some this year that I can use, and a couple that I have bought. I did buy Chris Middleton, and I did buy Gordon Hayward this year. So we're going to throw Chris Middleton in there. I'm not picking Mike Conley at 31. I don't want to pick Gordon Hayward at 28 against the Nuggets. So we're going to go for Norm Powell. That leaves 36 on the table to play with. If I have 33 there, I can't afford PG. I could go for Mike Conley. Because if not, I don't have a 35 anyway. So do you know what? We're going to go Vucevic and Mike Conley. Wow, we've ended up playing 3. Could you imagine that? But that's limited veterans. I'm not going to go out and buy a particular lineup for it. We'll do underdog and then we'll do red lineups. And then like we said with underdog, obviously every time it's just going bargain bucket hunting down at the bottom of your L10s. These are all inactive players, isn't it? That's why I'm looking at them here. JaVale McGee's been looking good. Is he out? He's questionable for the game against Phoenix. I don't love the matchup for him on the Timberwolves, if I'm being honest. Jad Vanderbilt can go and get some pure cardio yet again. Do we want to throw Jackson Hayes in? We can throw Jackson Hayes in. Do you know what? Actually, no, we're not going to put Jackson Hayes in. We're going to throw McGowan's in, even though he's got Denver. I've got a feeling he'll play some minutes. Paul Reed, potentially could be in there. Champagne, you can go in there too. That would then leave me with 19. If we wanted to go and throw Jordan Poole into this lineup, how are we going to make that happen? Have I got someone at 6? Can I do that? I could put McGee in there. Do you know what? We'll do that. I'm going to have Jordan Poole in underdog. Why not? We'll see how that goes. Underdog is tough to win this year. You have to have everyone hit. So, look, we'll wait and see how that happens. Let's do rare lineups right now. Champion. Devin Booker's projecting really well in this game against Sacramento. Now, normally I would prioritize per se contender, and I got another rewarding contender this week. I think I come like 89th. If Vanderbilt had done something out of 3 games, I was potentially looking like a tier 3, tier 2, but it wasn't to be. A tier 5 is a tier 5. But I'm actually going to look at champion this week, and it's because Booker's projecting really well. Lillard's projecting kind of not amazing, but really well. Anthony Edwards is at 37, also in that game. It also has a game against the Kings, projecting very well. Now, this is where it could fall down because I'm currently looking at playing Andrew Wiggins in the games against Wizards and the Blazers. Now, if he's ever going to find form, it'll be in these 2 games. And that leaves me with 16 left. Now, I don't love the fact that I've got a selection of Terrence Mann, Cam Reddish, and Andrew Nembhard, especially because Nembhard's coming back off that sort of twisted ankle / knee injury. But I'm gonna run with Cam Reddish, even if LeBron does play. It doesn't really necessarily mean too much for him. As you see, last night he didn't play and he only dropped 13. Cam Reddish can get a 30-point score, a 40-point score, even if he's on his game. So I'm hoping Cam Reddish can go in. This is ultimately a rare champion with how incredibly difficult it is to win in rare champion this year. You need everyone to go off. So this lineup really is dependent on these 2, if I'm being completely honest. So that's going to be my rare champion. Let's do contender. In rare contender, I have a few options of how I want to play this week. I don't mind Trendon Watford at 13. He's got those 2 games and he's seeing a more, not completely trusted role, but he is getting more minutes and he is capable of getting those mid-20s to 30-point scores. So because he's got 2 games this week and one of them's against Detroit, I don't mind playing him in this sense is what we'll say. Now, the other options I've got here is I've got some decently priced options L10-wise, but Jaren Jackson Jr. against the Hawks, now that he's got Ja Morant back, I don't know, I'm really liking the idea of his matchups that he's going to get in there, because also he's now not the main threat on that team alongside Desmond Bane. Ja Morant isn't by a long way. If you put him in, obviously, at 41, you're now stretching the budget a little bit. Now, where is Javon Carter? Javon Carter's there at 9. Again, he has been, I would say, almost disappointing. I thought he was going to come away from the Bucks, go to the Bulls, and be a real sort of like a good aged presence, a good vet there. Even though he's 28, he'd add some experience, he'd add some like depth to them, and it hasn't really gone the way I thought it would. But Cavs have got their issues, so we're going to see how that goes. That then also would allow me to do a few other things. Now, if I scroll on through here, I could be looking at Jaden Ivey, who's coming off that really good game against the Jazz. There's a few other options that I've got here. I'm not sure if I want to go Paul Reed and then go and pick up someone in the 36 range. I could pick a Jeremy Grant up or a Mikal Bridges. And Paul Reed, obviously, as we know, if they're winning, if they're smashing Toronto by like the third quarter, Paul Reed's coming in and Embiid's sitting. That's what you can genuinely see this year with Philly, and he can put up a double at least, maybe even a 3x on that L10. It's not out of the realm because 11 is low for him. Do I want to do that? I'm not quite sure. I really like the idea of, where is he? I like the idea of playing Jordan Poole in that matchup that he's got again against his old team. It's obviously really nice. I could go RJ Barrett and throw Harrison Barnes in there at 20 when he's got those 2 games. I'm really torn, and I should have probably sorted this out before I sat down and recorded these. But I think Aaron Gordon as well at 27 with those 2 games. I could go Aaron Gordon and Jeremy Sohan, who's playing against the Luka and Kyrie-less Dallas Mavericks. And I kind of like the idea of that. Let me know in the comments down below what you think I should do, because I'm really stumped at this one, and I'm not sure I'm even going to be about on lock tonight. On the face of things, this doesn't look amazing, but I do think there is some potential in there. Let's do underdog now. And yeah, I mean, underdog gonna be underdog, isn't it? So we'll throw Hayes in here. We'll throw Vanderbilt in there for this one. Paul Reed will go in here because we're not going to use him elsewhere. Have we got Jordan Poole? That would leave 8 left. And we can throw Utah in. I know Utah's been getting some DMPs recently, but we're going to throw Utah in, and then that means that we're also selecting Jordan Poole. The thing with rare underdog is when we talk about things that are hard to win, like there's 525 paid places out of 2,634 in rare underdog. We're talking 20 and 509. Like the gap there is just insane. Like 20 cards to be won. And also, if you win rare underdog, you literally get the same as if you come third. So I don't understand that premise, but rare underdog is tough. Now, I haven't got a rare veterans team, and that's primarily because Jimmy Butler, again, is out of that game against the Hawks. And then I don't even have... I've got the new season cards for them. I've got Barnes and Anderson, a Richardson, and a Brody, but I don't have the cap space to fill that out. So I'm not necessarily too fussed on doing it. I'm not going to throw the team in there. I'd rather just do it in training. And then super rare. So I know I spoke to you guys about super rare in a couple videos back, but I'm also thinking that if I want to do it, I don't sort of want to just half-ass it. I want to go full in. So I'm looking at sort of what cards I'd necessarily want to compete in and what cards I'd want to use. And just trying to find the best deal that I kind of can for that one. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up there. That's going to do it though for me. I will probably have some form of Christmas Eve stream up for the lock. I don't know if it'll be right when it happens. I'm not sure when the timings are going to be for it, but I'll try and get some sort of stream up there because I quite like doing them live. They were quite fun, the last one I did that was live, and I've been able to do them. So we'll do that. And if not, have a very good Christmas or holidays or however you celebrate this time of year. Enjoy your time off. Enjoy the break. Enjoy the NBA that's going to be on at Christmas. Don't forget to listen to the NBA at Christmas podcast that we got up there, a little self-plug. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 as quickly as we can. Like the video, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and peace.